I'm testifying before the subcommittee on Social Security, and my message is that most of our members, people that we have talked to in Connecticut, are scared to death that Social Security will be cut, that Social Security needs to be here right now and in the future. It needs to be preserved, and it also needs to be strengthened. And one way to strengthen it is to raise the cap on income so that we can keep Social Security there, not just for us, for those of us who are currently retired, but for our children and our grandchildren. So many of our members only rely on Social Security. They do not have a pension, and all of them have said, I've worked hard all my life, and now that I'm old and I have illnesses and I live alone, I'm very worried what will happen to me if Social Security is reduced or taken away. I think it's probably more important now than ever, because most people would have pensions and would save a little bit, but what we're finding now is that people retiring, pensions seem to have disappeared. The average person does not have more than $1,000 in savings, and so many of them just rely on Social Security, and it needs to be strengthened. The cap needs to be raised so that people can live in comfort and security. And it's a terrible thing to feel that, what if the rug is just taken out from under me? What's going to happen to me? One of the messages I have is that when my grandmother was a widow at the age of 50 and had 6 children, one was my mother, she was always worried about having to go live in a poorhouse. And in Connecticut, a number of towns had poorhouses, and I can remember vivid conversations with my grandmother saying, oh, I don't want to have to go live in the poorhouse. Fortunately, my grandfather was able, when he passed away rather, was able to be sure that she got some of his Social Security. And I remember as a kid going with my grandmother very often to the poorhouse, because she would bake bread and bring it over to the poorhouse, which was a pretty bare bones place. Fortunately, she never wound up in the poorhouse, but that was always a worry, and I'd hate to see poorhouses come back again, and that could happen if Social Security is diminished. If we have some money from Social Security that is a bit extra money, we can go to the movies or go out to dinner occasionally or take a trip. Not only is that good for the economy, but it's also good for the well-being of retirees.